Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenore and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Aries. If Aries is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. And so tonight our card is the Queen of Wands. Let's go ahead and see what these tea leaves have to say. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. All right. So we have an interesting image here, and I'm going to start right here. Where's my little stick? I'm looking around for you. Where are you? All right. We have a person here, and you can see the head here, the body here, the leg. They're holding a fish, okay? Almost like it's going to jump out of their hand, and they're holding onto it tight. We also have, it looks like a little, a baby deer right here, okay? And then here we have an eye, okay? You can see right there, the pupil. And so, when we see that fish, that is good news. And the size of this fish here is, yes, very exciting. So, it means, at least how I read, right? It means abundance. And in this case, I'm guessing that it has to be monetary because it's a beautiful fish. It looks like you've caught a bass even, the way that it's all curled and fighting and fighting. And so, what do we know here? We know that some money has come into your life. Some kind of resources, right? Probably money, usually money. But here's the thing, you're holding on to it with dear life, okay? So trying to remain mindful, right? How you're going to spend it, yes. How you're not going to spend it, yes. Having some kind of plan. What are you going to do with this money? Are you going to put it away? Are you going to use it for some stuff that you've been needing to catch up on, or maybe some of those things that you have gone without and now you have some money to go ahead and do that? Or are you gonna, kind of squirrel it away for a rainy day, or maybe something that, will produce money, some interest, right? I don't know. That's up to you. But I really do think that with this money, and I don't think it's the first time you've had some money coming in, right? A big chunk of change. With this particular round of money, I think that you have kind of some clarity, right? I think maybe the last time or the time before, it was exciting. You got this, I don't know, maybe it was a raise, maybe it was a bonus, maybe you inherited some money, or, you won at the casino, or I don't know, something. And it was so exciting that you ended up just kind of, spending it on this and that, and it didn't end up working very much for you, right? So I do think in this situation, yeah, you're going to hold on to that. You're going to make sure that it goes where it's going to be useful, okay? Now, we also have the young deer, right? And what is the name? A fawn. There it is, fawn. I was going to say doe, but I'm like, that's the female deer. Okay, so we have a fawn, a baby deer. And this is There's a lot of baby deer out there. If you come upon one, you're very lucky, but don't touch it. Okay, this is something that I read about all the time. I've never found a deer. And just moved to a place here where I have been seeing deer in the yard. So I wonder if at some point we might come upon a little baby. But here's the thing, when you find one, they look sometimes like they have been abandoned, and that is not always the case. So we don't touch them. We leave them, and mama will come back, right? And this is the case for most animals, even birds. You know, I think a lot of times we feel like, oh, we want to help this thing that, you know, is lost. Their parents don't know where it is. Well, more often than not, they are left there on purpose for one reason or another. And so anyways, that's my little PSA about wild animals during baby season, right? Now this one looks like it is kind of trying to get up and walk, maybe running. And so I feel like this is kind of the, it's like the wobbly legs, trying to get up on those wobbly legs and running before you can even walk, right? Just taking off from the get-go. And, you know, I feel like it's just kind of this reminder of pacing yourself. You know, I think that you're coming into this kind of new period of your life. I know that a lot of our readings have been about kind of staying by the house and you know, keeping it low key, maybe a little bit in that hermit mode. You know, just kind of recharging your battery, not getting involved with too many things outside of your little abode. And I think now it's kind of this feeling of, okay, I'm starting to emerge from my slumber, my social slumber, and I can imagine there being, and I'm gonna take a little sip here. It's just these moments where, well, I've had the flu. That's part of it. I've had the flu. And so, you know, if it's not one thing, it's another over here. We had allergies, and now we had a little, it's not been a very long flu. Thankfully, have crossed over the worst of it and woke up feeling pretty good. Did a lot of chores today, catching up. I was in bed for like 2 days. And I felt so restless, but I could barely pick myself up. I just was absolutely exhausted, and we had crazy fevers. So, and I say we, my daughter and I, thankfully, my husband, shout out to Dove and Serpent Tarot over there, didn't really, I think it missed him, hopefully. But yeah, so anyways, I'm feeling better allergy-wise, I think, but, you know, now I'm getting over this sickness that we've had. And so anyways, yes, we have, yes, what is it? What is going on? I almost wonder if it's like, I don't know, with the new season, with maybe there are some family events coming up. This is, you know, a lot of graduations and weddings and birthdays and, you know, just kind of summer outings. Now, if you're in the Southern Hemisphere, I don't know if you guys graduate this time of year. I was just saying this in one of my other readings. You'll have to let me know. What time of year do you graduate from school? When do you hold your graduations? Is it in like November when you're going into summertime? Is that when summer? Yeah, like around November when it's like summertime, or is it aligned with winter? I don't know. I have no idea. Should probably look it up, but I'm not sure. And but also, you know, I don't know. Maybe there are just some family gatherings happening. Maybe this is like a slower time of year, and you have your own holidays going on and reasons to get together. But I do feel like, yeah, there's this kind of sense of a little bit of excitement, maybe feeling, you know, like you've been away for long enough. You've done your own thing and, you know, stayed by yourself for a while or, you know, with your little family unit, just kind of living your lives and not really partaking in all the things happening. But yeah, I feel like it's when we kind of rejoin society, right? There's a sense of being a little bit wobbly, feeling maybe a little bit anxious, but excited. You know, but I think with this break that you've had, and also, man, you've been putting all of that energy into getting that job stuff going. Really trying to figure out how you're going to make that money. What are, you know, maybe side hustles, or you're doing some gigs, or, you know, whatever it is. And you're doing really well there. So now kind of letting yourself get back into that social place. And, you know, you have this clarity because you've been away from it all. I think that you really kind of sat back and looked at like some of the old situations that maybe were going on, and thinking about your priorities, the stuff that you will and won't put up with, and, you know, all the things that kind of happen when you disengage. At least hopefully, right? We become pretty introspective and we kind of look at what's happening around us, all these, you know, life keeps going on if we're there or not, right? And people are going to have their problems and their dramas and so on. And when you're not involved, right? When you're not in the thick of all of that, it's easy to kind of see the patterns, right? And so I think you're going into this with, and there's the eye wide open, third eye wide open. And, you know, continuing to decide, like, I'm not getting involved in all of this, you know, distractive, chaotic, emotional, manipulative stuff. Right? I'm here to hang out. I'm here to be here with my family. I'm here to be here with my friends. I don't want to argue about anything. I don't want to get involved in anything. I'm just kind of doing my own thing. Cool as a cucumber, right? And so, yeah, I feel like this is a good feeling. It's a good feeling to have, this kind of control within your life. And so it is, right? And so it is. So we also have a large E up here. So it seems like an E name. And then we also have, it looks like an A3. That's what I'm seeing, A3. So if that number means anything. Oh, and we also have an E again. So the E over and over again. And I feel like it is a name. It has to be a name. There's another E over here. So I feel like it's the same person kind of coming through. Interesting, because we had an E in my last reading too. But I feel like, yeah, this is somebody who is just really trying to get your attention. And it's hard to say what they want. I don't think it's nefarious at all, but I do feel like it does feel kind of difficult. It's complicated, right? I feel like this is somebody you don't necessarily like to think about, because when it was really good, it was so good and there was such a connection, but something happened along the way. And I'm seeing we have a chicken up here. So I almost wonder if this is, I don't know, a family member, a female family member, or a good friend. But there seems to be like this kind of nurturing aspect. And maybe it's even like your daughter. Maybe you nurtured them. I don't know, but there's a closeness there. And I feel like there's just this devastation. Something happened. A loss of trust, I think. And so, I don't know. I don't know if they continually tried to get a hold of you, or if this is something that is kind of new, but it is affecting you. And I think you have been thinking about them, and you have almost been, I feel like, on the cusp of engaging. At the same time, I'm looking at this and it looks like a rabbit, right? Here's the head and the ear and the legs, and I feel like almost a sense of taking off, right? Very skittish. Like, yeah, stopping and looking and thinking, maybe, nah, I'm good, right? And just out of there. I don't feel like you're ready. But we also have a turtle right here, okay? So I feel like, yeah, this is like baby steps. It's gonna take you some time. But I don't think that it's like forever. I think it's kind of like you want to see there be some space here so there can be some growth, hopefully. And then when you kind of revisit the idea of, yeah, maybe we can talk. Maybe we can have each other in each other's lives. But there has to be some kind of change, right? And so I feel like you're giving yourself time with this one. And that's a good thing. I don't think it's a bad thing at all. We have a 3 again, a big 3. Okay, and then we also have, we have 2 people. We have one up here holding, it looks like a letter maybe, and then we have a shovel. We also have maybe a person feeding some kind of bird. It almost looks like maybe a roadrunner. We also have a 2 up here. A large, so 32 maybe. Oh, and another 3 actually, my goodness. So another 3 threes, and then we have the maybe 32. All right, so I almost kind of feel like this is an interesting, maybe a ritual or some kind of act of love, right? I almost feel like this is kind of like writing a letter, putting all of your feelings into it, putting everything into it. Maybe not details. It doesn't have to be details, but maybe your emotions, your feelings, your impressions, that potent thing that just, it's like honey, you know, dripping out of your mouth, right? Just there's such a passion here, and feeling so moved to even just sit down and write something on a piece of paper, something that, you know, can't contain what you feel, but it's there and you have to put it down on something. And then taking that letter, maybe by the moonlight, if you're brave, right? If you're brave enough to go out at night and go digging somewhere, taking it out, and digging a little hole and putting your letter in that hole, covering it up, and letting the earth take it, letting the earth have it. Have this feeling, share it with me, right? and letting it go back to the origin, right? It's beautiful. I just can imagine going out there, digging in that soil and putting that letter in there ever so carefully, and putting maybe a flower or a special rock, or maybe you've woven together some grass, putting it in there and letting it go into that place. And that's not to say letting go of the emotion or the feeling or the impression, but it is something to let this pour out of you in some way. And maybe it's not something you're ready to say to somebody or express openly, but it's something that you have to tell the earth, right? Somebody, the sky, the water, the earth, the fire. But we have that shovel, so it makes me think, sending it on to that thing. I like the idea of something being put in there and it's slowly coming apart and becoming something else. Now, we also have, it looks like a person sitting here feeding. And the Roadrunner to me really is this feeling of going. But it seems almost there's that duality of sitting and feeding that energy, that high octane energy. And so, resting, leisure, recharging, daydreaming, frivolous things. Making sure that you are having time away from whatever it is that's so important in your life right now, so that you can gather yourself, keep yourself together. We need those moments of nothing, those moments of quiet, those moments of I'll do it later. All right, let's see. What do we have going on over here? We have another chicken, but this one looks like a rooster this time. We have a rooster, we have a butterfly, we have a person, and they almost look like they're dancing to me. We also have, it looks like 6 and 6, or 9 and 9. We also have a child over here. So the rooster is always, as I see it, an alarm, a wake-up call, cock-a-doodle-doo early in the morning. And, and we also have the eye, and we have a fish. Okay. We also have, so right next, the rooster next to this butterfly. The butterfly is evolution. Okay. Self-evolution, growth, metamorphosis. And I feel like we've talked about it. There's been so much change in these last, 6 months, a year. And going through these periods of time where there's been major healing, major struggle and grief, but also healing. And finding comfort in yourself, being with yourself, and re-emerging into the world once again. And I feel, like a butterfly, right? You've been through some difficult things that have given you insights and wisdom that you did not have previously at all. No, you did to some degree, but. And I don't know why I said at all. You did. But it just all comes together. It's like there were fragments of knowledge, of understanding. But going through this thing has fortified you. You have been forged in that flame. And that's what the Queen of Wands is all about. It's about being changed by ordeals, by traveling the path and becoming this, this creature that is untouchable, really. As far as there is a passion, and there is a desire, and there is a strength. Nothing is going to destroy you. You've been through a lot. You're conscious of your movement. You're conscious of your decisions and who you let close to you. And so we also have the dancing, right? And I feel like there's, these moments where you're feeling something again. You're allowing yourself to feel something again. And it's been a while since maybe you felt good about anything, but it's all coming together. And there are moments where you feel free for the first time in a long time. And then we have the little fish. So yeah, money once again. Just kind of reiterating. Here's the money. Don't forget about that part of this reading. There's some money coming along. Be mindful. There's also the child, and that to me really feels like a sense of wonder. Returning to that place of excitement and awe, and I can't wait to, and these kinds of feelings that rise up. And that's a beautiful thing. Okay, so we're going to do the Wild Offering Oracle cards, a 52 card deck on giving it all to God. All right. Now I'm going to go ahead and flip through and stop where it feels right. Let's see. True offering. May I release the fears, illusions, and addictions that keep me from true offering. May I relax into your plan, trusting that the next steps will always be shown. Use me, love. Use me for the highest. I am yours alone. Yes, I like that one a lot. I am yours alone. Okay. All right, Aries, I'm going to go ahead and tell you I love you because I do, and I thank you so much for spending this time with me. It is always such an honor to be able to bring these messages to you. And if you would be so kind as to like the video, it really does help the channel. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. What else? Oh yes, if you'd like to leave a comment, please do. I would love to hear from you. And so with that, I will say thank you. I love you. Take care of yourself. And we'll talk in just a few days. Good night.